Dr. Devi Shetty, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. My first question, Dr. Shetty, you must have heard the news of people in this country making ventilators. So you've got a lot of youngsters who are working on prototypes, some as affordable as 15,000, 20,000, 50,000. Now I by no way am suggesting that these are the best ventilators in town. But do you think the government must acknowledge that in a war type situation, every such effort has to be acknowledged, prioritized, and perhaps even commissioned?
I am also involved in the whole selection process of various ventilators. So essentially, there is a lot of interaction happening between the industry and the government and the experts like us who are suggesting the government about various options. The most important thing is that, you see, there are hundreds of startups who have come up with ideas, but ultimately you have to test it. There is very little time for the government and for us to evaluate these new products. So the tendency is to go by the existing standard proven ventilators, which may be expensive. At the same time, have a low-cost option as well, like the products you're talking about. So from both ends, the policy of the government is to encourage the startups as well as scaling up with company like the BEL to produce thousands of ventilators on a large scale, which is built on robust model, so that in the COVID ICU, doctors are not worried about the integrity and the accuracy of the ventilator and what it is showing. You must realize that ventilator is a life-saving equipment, and a few minutes of malfunction can result in brain death. So these are the areas which are very sensitive, but it's very exciting to see the kind of innovation Indians are coming up with. So it may not be a product which is ready for us to use in the next few weeks, but definitely it is going to have a big impact. And believe me, I always looked at foreign ventilators for, whenever I bought ventilators, I wanted to buy foreign ventilators. But now, from now onwards, whenever I am planning to buy a ventilator for my group of hospital, first I would like to see which is the best Indian company.
I think that's fantastic.
Ventilator. Yeah.
Absolutely. Ever so more, because China, our dependence on China, in fact, the world's dependence on China has proved to be fatal for them. Dr. Shetty, one big question that we all were discussing was that there's a lot of misinformation also floating around. People see a lot of videos and then they believe all sorts of things. What would you say currently, as the information also keeps changing, instructions also keep changing, how important is it for us to trust correct sources, and where should people get their medical information from?
They should just watch NDTV.
Medical information,
Even
not news.
Yeah, we've got a doctor right here.
See, the ICMR is the best organization to come up with the guidelines, and we should trust whatever the ICMR says. Having said that, there are some trustworthy sites in Google and in the internet all of us can access from famed institutions like Mayo or any of the and also there are a lot of respected Indian institutions putting up their suggestions for how to stay fit and how to protect yourself. So it's not difficult to get the right information, but I agree that the internet is filled with the wrong information. It is very, very confusing for the lay public. So my advice for everyone is to just call your doctor. You may not visit them, but just call your doctor and confirm it before you take a decision.
All right.